What's going on, Saints fans? I hope you guys are having a wonderful weekend. My name is Trace Gerard. Welcome into Saints Now. Before we start taking your questions and hot takes in this mailbag, I want to take a quick second to encourage you to follow me on social media. I made my handle on all three platforms the same. It's at TraceGerard48. The links are in the comment section description of this video. You want to see a crazy tweet that I put out? Had over 4 million views. Check out my Twitter or my X, whatever you want to call it. I also just got a blue check mark, so if you want to be one of my first followers and in this new era of my Twitter, hit me up. I would love to see you guys. And I also post a lot of other content out there, not just on the YouTube channel. I would love to see you guys. Hit me up on social media. All right. Wow. Jason Hample, $50. Hell yeah. Saying if by some miracle Jayden Daniels falls at 14, would you start him right away or let him learn a little bit? But if we trade up, what would you give away? I'd give away Lattimore and 2 firsts. All right, so I wouldn't give away a Lattimore and 2 firsts to move up for Daniels. If I were to move up for Daniels, I would do Lattimore and 1 first. That might move the needle for me. I don't want to mortgage a ton of future draft capital, considering the Saints don't have a ton of capital to begin with. Like, I wouldn't hate only 1 first round. If a 2's what it takes to get it done, maybe I'm a little hesitant to make the move. I don't think the Saints would trade up for Daniels. It's going to take a lot to go from 14 all the way up to like the top 3. Dare I say top 3? Hot take. Daniels might be the 3rd pick in the draft. If he does fall to 14, shoot, man, I don't know how the Saints could pass up on him. I don't know if I would start him right away. I would honestly give him the 1 year. You have Derek Carr already, and he's playing, and he's making starter caliber money. So, like, I would honestly go with Derek Carr to let Jayden Daniels develop so that way he can take a route similar to Jordan Love, and he's not thrown to the wolves too early and, like, we just think he's a bad player or whatever. Like, I am all for let a player sit for a little bit, develop, and then let him get going. Like, I don't think you have to worry too much about having him start day one. I will also say, Jason, shout out to you. Since you sent in a $50 super chat, I'm going to be mailing you this Mardi Gras cowboy hat that lights up. My mom, she did a fundraiser for our local school district, raised over $125,000. Those hats helped raise money for kids, so I'm going to send you one of those hats. Macho Man, Randy Savage, Saquon Barkley isn't getting franchise tags. Should the Saints sign him? Yeah, so the Giants did not tag Saquon Barkley, which can't say I'm not surprised. I kind of thought that they would try and bring him back, but at the end of the day, didn't he play on the tag last year? He did not play on the tag last year. So disregard my thoughts that I was about to say. In terms of the production, though, for Barkley, I mean, he's a good player. Do I dare say he's been a little underwhelming since being selected so high out of Penn State? I mean, he's a great football player, no doubt about it. There's been injury issues. He's kind of an expensive player now. Like, I don't necessarily know if I'd want to give him a ton of money. And on top of that, I think that you have a good 3-headed monster in your running backs room. I know that the production was down, but I'm going to credit a majority of that to the poor offensive line playing. To be honest, I don't think bringing in Saquon Barkley would move the needle. I think the bigger thing is better offensive line production, no matter who the running back is. So that's just kind of my 2 cents on it. I wouldn't hate bringing in Saquon. I actually think it would be a pretty interesting and pretty good move for New Orleans, but this is your time to sound off for me. Enough about what I have to say. About what you have to say. Would you sign Saquon Barkley? Just give me an S for sign, a P for pass in the comment section. Let me know what you got to say, Who Dat Nation. And quick reminder before we get to some more questions and hot takes, subscribe to the channel if you're a diehard Saints fan. No fake fans allowed. If you're a fair weather fan, if you hate the New Orleans Saints, if you want them to lose every single game, get out of here. This is not the channel for you. This is for only diehard fans and only real Saints fans. So if you're a real Saints fan, welcome to the family. Subscribe today. Duff Nation, who do you think the New Orleans Saints are drafting first? Well, we did talk to Dane Brugler out in Indianapolis. He got to join the program. And yesterday, I did put out a video, as well as this morning, I put out a video with the clip of Dane Brugler's thoughts on the Saints. If you can't find it, there's also a YouTube short on the channel, so go look for it. And he discussed that he could see the Saints going defensive lineman. That could be like the first or second D lineman or edge rusher to go off the board. Could also build in the trenches. So if you ask me, I could see them going one of two ways. Offensive line with a player like Olu Fashanu, a Troy Fontenot, a Talisi Fuaga, maybe even a J.C. Latham. I could also see them going edge rusher, Latu Latu, Jared Verse, Dallas Turner. I will also say this. I talked to a source very close to the player. Cooper DeJean did meet with the New Orleans Saints in Indianapolis, or at least he has met with the New Orleans Saints. So that could be another player that they may be interested in. He can do kind of everything. I wouldn't be too surprised if they went DB, just to keep solidifying that unit, make them younger, make them better, make them cheaper. I don't think that's ever a bad route to go because they don't have one prime starter. It's Tyrann Mathieu, and even he's getting up there in age. So if you ask me, I'm going offensive line or defensive line, but I could see them maybe doing a wide receiver or maybe a cornerback/DB. All right, LZ, we should take a flyer on another late-round quarterback like Jordan Travis in the 5th or 6th or even 7th. I would not – if you draft Jordan Travis, it needs to be in the 7th round. I'm just going to say that. Honestly, I'm not drafting Jordan Travis at all. It's not that I think he's a bad player. It's just that you have a backup quarterback that in Jake Haener that you traded up to go and get last year, Senior Bowl MVP. He's a really talented player in college. He has some good things that he can build on in the NFL. I don't know if I want to draft Jordan Travis, but if you did go get him, it'd have to be in the 6th or 7th round pick for me. But ultimately, I'd rather just go best player available that's not him and go get some safeties, some receivers, some linemen, whatever it is. Like, I just, it's nothing against Jordan Travis. I'm just not interested in bringing in a quarterback this offseason. The ultimate warrior. Should the Saints sign Jerome Baker, the Dolphins cut him? Well, actually, I don't hate that idea. Jerome Baker could be in, yeah. So I think he's a shout out producer Seeps for popping up this graphic for us. In 2023, the production was good. 1.5 sacks, 2 tackles for loss, 2 interceptions, 3 pass breakups, 78 tackles. I mean, the Ohio State linebacker could be a really good plug-and-play player alongside Pete Werner, alongside Demario Davis, because then you could allow Zach Bond to stick his hand in the dirt and go rush the passer. Like, I think that actually wouldn't make or it wouldn't be a terrible move. I think it would actually make some sense. I like the idea of bringing in Jerome Baker, but it's just a matter of how much he's going to cost and whether or not the Saints are willing to pay it. Jeremy Gates, let's get to you, brother. Every year we target one big-ticket item during the first waves of free agency. You are the GM. Who's the one, at least semi-realistic free agent you would target? I can only pick one. I'm going to name a couple just to break the rules a little bit. I'm going to say Danielle Hunter. That would be one I'd be interested in going to get. I want a lineman. I want like Robert Hunt maybe. I wouldn't hate going and getting Robert Hunt. That would be a fun option. But I also think that getting a player, I don't know, man. I want an offensive lineman or defensive lineman. So I'm going to just go between my two. You said one. I'm going to go Robert Hunt or Danielle Hunter as my two guys. Thank you so much for everyone who tuned in to today's video. I'm currently in Fayetteville, Arkansas, hanging out with my girlfriend, taking a little PTO before free agency starts. Got to unwind a little bit. So we're still giving you guys coverage, but if anything happens around the New Orleans Saints, I'm going to post it on my social media platforms at TraceGerard48. Give me a follow. That way you can stay informed. And as always, Saints fans, y'all stay golden. We'll catch you next time.